They said Locker 13 was haunted. It was just a story, right? A silly school legend. Every kid at Northwood Middle School knew it. They whispered about it in the hallways. They dared each other to touch its cold metal door. The legend said a student vanished years ago. Vanished without a trace. All that remained was their locker. Locker 13. Some said you could still hear them, if you listened closely, if you were brave enough, or foolish enough.
My name is Sam. I never believed in ghosts or haunted lockers until this year. This year things changed.
It was the first day of 7th grade. A new year, new classes, and a new locker assignment. My friends Lily and Jake got lockers next to each other. Lucky them. I walked down the long, echoing hall. I checked my assignment slip. My heart pounded. Locker 13. It had to be a mistake. A terrible, spooky mistake. I stared at the number. 13. Unlucky for some. Maybe unlucky for me.
The locker looked old, older than the others. Its blue paint was chipped.
The inside of Locker 13 was dark. Darker than it should be. Cobwebs clung to the corners. A forgotten textbook lay on the top shelf. Its pages were yellowed and dusty. I reached for it. Just as my fingers brushed the cover, I heard it. A sound. A tiny sound. Like a sigh. Or a whisper. It was so faint I thought I imagined it.
Hello, I whispered back.
Silence. Only the distant chatter of students. I told Lily and Jake about the locker and the whisper.
You're hearing things, Sam. He was always the skeptic. Always trying to be brave.
Maybe you should ask for a different locker, she suggested. Locker 13. It just feels wrong.
But I couldn't. Part of me was scared. Really scared. But another part was curious. Terribly curious. What if the legend was real? The next day I approached Locker 13 with caution. My heart did a little flip-flop. I opened it slowly. No immediate whispers. Just the same musty smell. I started putting my books inside. The whispers from Locker 13 continued. Faint. Fleeting. Always when I was alone. I started to dread going to my locker. But I also couldn't stay away. Lily and Jake tried to be supportive. Jake even stood by the locker with me once. He heard nothing.
It's the old pipes, Sam, he said. Or the wind.
But I knew it wasn't the pipes. Or the wind. It was something else. Something unseen. Then things got weirder. It wasn't just the locker anymore. Other strange things started happening. Especially in the school library. The old grandfather clock in the corner. It was a beautiful clock, tall and wooden, with a swinging pendulum. It usually kept perfect time, but lately it had been acting strange. Sometimes it would stop, for no reason, its hands frozen, its pendulum still. Then, just as suddenly, it would start again.
One afternoon we were in the library.
The time on the clock, 3:13. It stuck in my head. It felt important, like a clue. We decided to do some research. In the library's old newspaper archives, we looked for anything unusual, anything that happened at Northwood Middle School. Years ago, we found an old article, dated October 26th, many years past. It mentioned a minor incident. A student had felt unwell in room 20B at around 3:15 p.m. The article was vague, too vague.
Room 20B. It was an old classroom, at the end of a deserted hallway. Rarely used now, mostly for storage. We knew we had to check it out, after school, when everyone else was gone.
The thought made my stomach churn. But the whispers from the locker, the spinning clock, it all felt connected. We had to know more, even if it was scary, especially if it was scary. The school was quiet, too quiet. Our footsteps echoed in the empty halls. We reached room 20B. The door was unlocked. It creaked open. Dust motes danced in the faint light from the hallway. The room smelled of chalk dust and decay.
The handwriting was faded, hard to read. It spoke of secrets and a special place. My secret hiding spot, it read. Later that day, I went to my locker, Locker 13. I had to. The whispers were still there. But this time I found something new, tucked into the back corner, a small folded piece of paper. It looked old, very old. It was a page from a diary. What was that thing? Jake panted. His face was pale. Even he couldn't deny it now. We scrambled out of room 20B. We didn't stop running until we were outside, gasping for breath, shaken. I remembered the windows, high up, but maybe... Just as I was about to suggest it, the doorknob rattled. Then, with a click, the door creaked open. Just a little. The shadow was gone. Vanished. The shadow in the corner seemed to pulse. I could feel a cold dread washing over me. Lily was crying softly. I had to do something. Panic. Pure, icy panic. Jake fumbled for the doorknob. It wouldn't turn. Locked. We were really trapped.
The locket wasn't just cold, it felt wrong. It lay heavy in my palm, tarnished silver, shaped like a heart. It had no chain, just the locket itself. As I held it, a strange feeling washed over me. A wave of sadness, deep and profound. It wasn't my sadness. It felt like someone else's. Someone lost. Someone lonely. I quickly passed it to Lily.
Wow, that's freezing, she said, her breath misting slightly in the cool treehouse air even though it was a mild afternoon. Lily held the locket, her eyes unfocused for a moment. I see something, she whispered. A girl, crying, near a locker, our school lockers. Her voice was distant, like she was seeing a memory, a ghost of a memory. Then she blinked, and the vision was gone. She looked scared.
What was that? Jake asked, his voice hushed. We didn't know. But the locket was clearly more than just an old piece of jewelry. It was connected to the whispers, to the school.
The school librarian was Miss Periwinkle. She was old, with wispy white hair and glasses perched on her nose. She always seemed to know everything. She saw us huddled together, whispering about the locket and the strange happenings. She approached our table quietly.
Curiosity can be a powerful thing, children, she said. Her voice was soft, but her eyes were sharp. Sometimes it uncovers things best left buried.
A shiver went down my spine. We hesitated. Should we tell her? About the locker? The clock? The shadow? The locket?
Jake surprisingly spoke up first. He told her a little. About the strange feelings and the old locket we found.
Miss Periwinkle listened patiently. She didn't laugh or call us silly. She nodded slowly.
Northwood has many stories, she said. Some sad, some forgotten, some that linger. She looked directly at the locket I held as if she knew what it was.
There was a girl, Miss Periwinkle continued, her voice dropping to a near whisper. Many years ago, a student here. She loved this library, but she was troubled, unhappy. Then, one day, she simply vanished.
Vanished? Like the legend of Locker 13?
No one ever knew what happened to her, Miss Periwinkle said sadly. It was a great mystery, a great sorrow for the school. Eliza Miller. Her face in the old yearbook photo. It was blurry, black and white, but there was something about her eyes, her expression. It reminded me of something, of someone. Then it hit me. The shadow in room 20B, the fleeting glimpses I thought I'd seen near my locker. They had the same sad, lost quality as Eliza's face in the picture. Was it possible? Was Eliza the shadow? Was she the whisper? We had to know more.
We spent hours in the library looking through more old newspapers. Microfilm Word, dust motes danced. We found it. An article about Eliza Miller's disappearance, local girl missing. It described her as quiet, a bit of a loner. She loved music, the article said, and she was last seen near the school lockers on that fateful October 26th, the same date as the minor incident in room 20B, the same day the clock had pointed to.
It all started to connect. The whispers, the cold spots, the locket, Eliza. She wasn't just a legend. She was real. And she was trapped or lost. The charm was tiny, silver like the locket, shaped like a miniature music box. It had the same initials, EM. When I held it, the locket in my pocket seemed to grow warmer. Not hot, just less cold. The whispers from the locker intensified, but they weren't just sounds anymore. They were words, clearer than ever before.
The music, my music box. Help me find my music box. Eliza wanted her music box. We thought hard. Where would a girl hide her treasured music box? A place she felt safe. A place mentioned in her diary. My secret hiding spot. The treehouse? No, we found the locket there. Room 20B. The place of the incident. The place we saw the shadow. It felt right. We had to go back, even though it terrified us.
We waited until after school. Miss Periwinkle saw us leaving. She gave us a small, knowing smile.
Some things need to be found, she said softly, to find peace.
Room 20B was just as creepy as before, but this time we weren't just scared. We were determined. We searched everywhere, under the dusty sheets, inside the old teacher's desk. Then, Jake noticed it, a loose floorboard.